The day my father died, I wore a pink dress. It feels important to remember that detail, how the fabric caught the sunlight as I walked into our marble-floored foyer, completely unaware that my life was about to shatter. My name is Malia, and 10 years ago I learned what it means to disappear. There you are. My mother's voice carried that practiced calm she reserved for social catastrophes. She stood at the foot of our sweeping staircase, her perfectly manicured hands clasped together. Behind her, my brother Grayson paced, his designer shoes clicking against the marble. "What's going on?" "The housekeeper said it was urgent." I dropped my bag, heart already racing. "Where's Dad?" "Sit down, darling." Mother gestured to the antique settee, the one Dad always joked cost more than his first car. "I don't want to sit. Where is he?" Grayson stopped pacing. "He's gone, Malia. Heart attack at the office this morning." The world tilted. I remember grabbing the doorframe, the cool wood under my fingers the only real thing left. That's not... He was fine yesterday. We had dinner. He promised to come to my graduation next month. "Plans change," Mother said, her voice distant. "But there's more we need to discuss." I slid down to the floor, my pink dress pooling around me. More? What could possibly be more than Dad being... "The money's gone," Grayson cut in. "All of it. Dad's been hiding massive losses for years. The house, the businesses, everything. It's all underwater." Mother dabbed at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief. "We have to sell everything, darling, and you'll need to leave university." "Leave? I'm graduating in 5 weeks." "We can't afford the final tuition payment," Grayson said, checking his watch. "The banks are freezing accounts as we speak. You need to pack your things." Today, I look between them, my perfect mother, my golden boy brother, searching for any crack in their performance. This is insane. Dad would have told me if things were this bad. "He was protecting you," Mother sighed, always trying to shield his little girl. "From what? Reality?" I stood up, anger finally breaking through the shock. "Let me see the paperwork, the bank statements. There has to be something." "It's all being handled by the lawyers," Grayson snapped. "Just pack your things and go stay with a friend. We'll contact you once everything's settled." I ran upstairs to Dad's study, but the door was locked. Through the keyhole, I could see Grayson had already cleared the desk. That night, I slept in my childhood bedroom for the last time. The next morning, Mother handed me an envelope containing $500 and a note saying they'd forward my mail. "This is for the best," she said, not quite meeting my eyes. A fresh start. I stood on our circular driveway, one suitcase at my feet, watching my family's facade crack and crumble. Or so I thought. 10 years passed in a blur of cheap apartments and cheaper meals. I disappeared into anonymity, exactly as they planned. I learned to survive on nothing, to become nothing. Until today. I'm sitting in my cubicle at the forensic accounting firm where I now work, staring at a glossy magazine someone left in the break room. There, splashed across page 6, is my brother Grayson, champagne in hand, boarding a yacht in Monaco. The caption reads, "Tech mogul Grayson, HH, celebrates another record quarter with A-list getaway." My hands don't shake as I tear out the page. They're steady as I open my laptop and log into the financial database I've spent years learning to navigate. A decade ago, they stripped me bare and left me for dead. They forgot one thing. Dead girls don't dig. And I'm about to start digging very, very deep. Surviving on nothing teaches you everything. After Dad's death, I learned how many hours of waitressing it takes to afford ramen noodles for a week, how to make a single tank of gas last a month, how to cry silently so the neighbours in your paper-thin studio apartment don't hear. You're doing that thing again, Abigail says, leaning against my cubicle wall, staring at numbers like they personally offended you. I minimize the browser window showing Grayson's yacht photo. Just focused. Right. She slides a coffee onto my desk. Because normal people spend Saturday nights at the office analysing offshore transaction patterns. I'm not normal people. I pull up another spreadsheet. And these aren't normal patterns. Talk to me. Abigail pulls up a chair, her forensic accountant brain already engaged. We've been partners on cases for 3 years now, ever since I clawed my way through night school and certification exams. Look at this. I point to a series of transactions. Shell company transfers to private accounts, then to charitable foundations, then back to different shell companies. Classic laundering setup, but the timing. What about it? Every transfer happens on the third Thursday of the month. That was my father's superstition. He never made major moves except on Thursdays. Abigail leans closer. Your father? The one who supposedly lost everything? Watch this. I pull up another window, typing rapidly. Cross-reference. The receiving accounts with property records and... there. A luxury penthouse purchase in Singapore. Buyer, AH Management. AH, Abigail whispers. As in... Angela Harding, my mother. The name tastes bitter on my tongue. Who supposedly lost everything 10 years ago. Abigail sits back, whistling low. Holy shit, Malia, they didn't lose the money. No. I pull up more records. They hid it. From me. From everyone. Can you prove it? Not yet. But look at this. I show her Grayson's company financials. His tech empire started exactly 8 months after Dad died. Initial capital investment of $50 million. Want to guess where that came from? The fortune that supposedly didn't exist. Abigail's voice hardens. What are you going to do? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes unknown number. Hello? Is this Malia? A man's voice, older, vaguely familiar. This is Javier Vasquez. I worked with your father. My heart stops. Javier was Dad's closest business partner for 20 years. I saw your digital footprints in some old accounts, he continues. You're looking into things. Smart girl. Just like your father said you'd be. What do you mean? Meet me tomorrow, 10 a.m. The coffee shop on 42nd and Park. There's something you need to see. He hangs up. Abigail raises an eyebrow. That was Dad's old partner, I explain. He knows something. Be careful, she warns. If your family really did what you think they did, they're not my family. I start gathering my things. They're just people who thought they could bury me. The next morning, I spot Javier immediately. He's aged, but his sharp eyes haven't changed. You look like him, he says as I sit down. Same way of watching everything. Why did you call me? He slides a sealed envelope across the table. Your father left this with me. Said if you ever started investigating the accounts, I should give it to you. Only you. My hands tremble as I open it. Inside is a single page, a clause from Dad's will I've never seen before. Read it carefully, Javier says. Especially the part about what happens if any family member knowingly deprives you of your inheritance. I scan the legal text, my eyes widening. According to this clause, if anyone in the family deliberately cut me out of my inheritance, all trust assets would transfer to my sole control. Is this real? Javier nods. Your father wasn't just smart, Malia. He was paranoid. And paranoid men leave insurance policies. I stare at the document, years of pain crystallizing into something harder. Something colder. One more thing. Javier hands me a USB drive. Your father's private server passwords. All of them. I close my fingers around it, feeling the weight of truth finally within reach. They thought they killed me, I whisper. They just gave me time to get stronger. You need a lawyer, Abigail says, pacing my apartment while I scroll through Dad's server files. A good one. Someone who won't fold under pressure. I know. I rub my eyes, screen blind after 6 hours of digging. But it has to be someone they can't trace back to me. I might know someone. She pulls out her phone. My cousin's ex-husband. He specialises in trust litigation. Total shark, but he keeps things quiet. 20 minutes later, we're sitting across from Alec Walker in a dimly lit bar 3 towns over. He studies the clause while nursing a scotch. This is beautifully crafted, he says finally. Your father had excellent lawyers. Can they fight it? They can try. He smirks. They'll lose. But that's not the interesting part. He taps the paper. The interesting part is, they don't know it exists. How can you be sure? Because they're still spending the money. He pulls out his tablet showing me recent purchases. Your brother just bought his 3rd Ferrari this year. People sitting on stolen funds don't flaunt them if they know there's a legal trapdoor. So what's our next move? We document everything. He starts typing notes. Every transaction, every shell company, every fake charity. Build an ironclad case before they know we're coming. I nod, then freeze as something catches my eye on his screen. Wait, go back to that transfer record. He scrolls back. There it is, a document with Grayson's signature and Mother's. But something's off about her signature. The strokes are wrong, I murmur. Mother always loops her G the other way. Alex zooms in. You think it's forged? Pull up more documents from that time period. We spend the next hour comparing signatures. A pattern emerges. All legal documents after Dad's death bear Mother's slightly off signature. Grayson, I breathe. He forged her name. He's been controlling everything. Including her, Abigail adds. Your mother might be a victim too. Not enough of one. I think of her cold eyes that last day. She still chose him over me. My phone buzzes. A news alert. I've set notifications for anything involving my family. Oh my God. I turn the phone so they can see. Mother's throwing a charity gala next month, celebrating 10 years of philanthropic excellence since Dad's death. The timing can't be coincidence, Alex says. It gets better. I read further. They're honouring Grayson with a legacy award. Live broadcast, full media coverage. Abigail grabs my arm. Malia, no, whatever you're thinking. They want an audience? I close the news alert. I'll give them one. This is where things get dangerous, Alec warns. One wrong move and they could bury the evidence. Then we don't move wrong. I pull up the gala details. We move perfectly. The next week becomes a blur of preparation. Alec files paperwork through discreet channels. Abigail helps me trace every dollar they've hidden. I barely sleep, running on coffee and rage. Then I find it. An encrypted folder with Dad's initials. Inside are passwords to every trust account, every hidden asset. He left me a key to the kingdom, I tell Abigail over late-night takeout. He knew this might happen. What about this? She points to another file. Blueprints for the family mansion's media room. Why would he save these? I study the technical specifications, a plan forming. Because the gala's being held there, and every screen, every projector, every microphone runs through one central system. You're not seriously thinking. I need to make one more call. I pick up my phone, dialing a number I found in the server logs. Hello? Hi, is this Marley, Grayson's fiancée? This is Amanda from Elite Events. I'm handling technical setup for the gala, and I was hoping to schedule a walkthrough. Abigail shakes her head as I put on my best professional voice. You're playing with fire. Maybe, but after 10 years in the cold, I'm ready to burn. You must be Amanda. Marley bounces toward me in designer heels, all perfect teeth and expensive highlights. I'm so excited you're here to help with the technical setup. Thank you for meeting me. I adjust my fake glasses, tucking a strand of temporarily dyed brown hair behind my ear. Amazing how a few small changes can make you invisible. The gala's scale is quite impressive. Oh my God, totally! She leads me through the mansion's halls. Grayson says it's going to be like the social event of the season. His mother's been planning it forever. I force a smile, trying not to stare at the familiar paintings, the spots where my childhood photos used to hang. I heard Mr. Grayson's receiving an award? The Legacy Award, she beams, for all his charitable work. He's so generous, always giving back. With my money, I think, but keep smiling. Will you be speaking at the ceremony too? God, no. She laughs. Angela, that's his mother. She's super particular about the program. Everything has to be perfect. We reach the media room. My heart pounds as I spot the central control panel, exactly where Dad's blueprints showed it would be. Mind if I check the connections? I pull out my tablet. Want to ensure everything's compatible with our presentation software. Go ahead, I'll grab us some water. The moment she's gone, I plug in a tiny device, barely larger than a USB drive, behind the main console. By the time Marley returns, I'm just closing the panel. So, she chirps, do you know Grayson's sister? I freeze. Sister? Yeah, I found this old photo in his study. He never talks about her, but... Marley! Grayson's voice booms from the doorway. What are you doing in here? Baby! She rushes to kiss him. Just helping Amanda with the tech setup. His eyes narrow at me. I keep my head down, fiddling with my tablet. We don't need outside tech support. His tone is sharp. Mother's team handles everything. But the event company said they were mistaken. He practically pulls her toward the door. Come on, we're late for lunch. I pack up slowly, heart racing. Does he suspect? But they're already gone, Marley's chatter fading down the hall. Back in my car, I call Alec. Device is planted, I tell him. How's the legal front? Better than expected. I filed the trust ownership claim this morning. Once the board verifies the clause, everything transfers to you, quietly. How long? A week, maybe less, just in time for the gala. He pauses. Are you sure about this, Malia? Going public means no turning back. I watch Grayson and Marley drive past in his Ferrari, not even glancing my way. They didn't give me a choice 10 years ago, I say. Now they don't get one either. That night I meet Abigail at our usual bar. Grayson almost caught me, I tell her, ordering a double whiskey. And his fiancée found an old photo. Getting sloppy isn't an option. She slides over a folder. Speaking of photos, look what I dug up. Inside are surveillance shots from high-end hotels and restaurants. Mother and Grayson meeting with bankers, lawyers, accountants, all dated within weeks of Dad's death. They planned it, I whisper, all of it. There's more, she points to one photo. See the documents they're signing. I enhanced the image. It's a power of attorney form, giving Grayson control of all Angela's assets. Mother would never willingly sign that much control away. Unless, Abigail meets my eyes, unless she didn't know what she was signing. The implications hit me like a punch. He played us both. Used me as the distraction while he locked down everything. What are you going to do? I pull out my phone, opening the gala invitation I'd managed to swipe from Marley's purse. I'm going to give my dear brother exactly what he wants. All eyes on him, all cameras rolling. I take a long sip of whiskey. Then, I'm going to show everyone exactly who he is. The screen glows with the event details. The Harding Foundation presents a decade of giving back. More like a decade of taking everything, I think. But that ends next week. The gala preparations transform the mansion into a glittering fortress. I watch from the tech booth as workers hang crystal chandeliers and arrange white roses, Mother's favourite. Every surface sparkles with old money and new lies. Testing, testing. Grayson's voice booms through the speakers as he does his microphone check. Is this thing on? Crystal clear, sir, I respond through the headset, keeping my voice neutral. 3 days of playing anonymous tech support, and he still looks right through me. Good. Let's run through the presentation again. He straightens his tie. I want it perfect. I start the slideshow, carefully edited to include hidden frames that will trigger my planted program. On the surface, it's all charity galas and oversized checks. Underneath, it's a time bomb. Marley, darling, Mother's voice carries across the hall. Those centerpieces are all wrong. Gold trim, not silver. I peek out to see Marley wilt under my mother's criticism. Sorry, Angela, I thought. That's the problem, dear, don't think. Just do as I say. Some things never change. I remember that tone, that dismissive wave of her hand. My phone vibrates. Alec. The board approved it, he says without preamble. The trust is yours. Officially. My hands shake as I adjust some cables. They have no idea. None. Want me to start the transfer process? No. I watch Grayson practice his humble acceptance speech. Let them have their moment in the spotlight first. The day of the gala arrives with military precision. Guests in designer gowns flood the entrance. News vans line the driveway. Everyone who's anyone is here to witness the Harding family's generosity. 5 minutes to broadcast, I announce through the crew headsets. All systems check. From my position above the main hall, I can see everything. Mother holding court near the champagne fountain. Grayson glad-handing potential investors. Marley trailing behind him like a lost puppy. Hey, Abigail's voice comes through my private earpiece. You ready? Born ready. I pull up the real presentation on my laptop. You in position? Front row, looking appropriately wealthy and clueless. Alex by the east exit with the documentation. Good. I check the time. Here we go. The lights dim. Mother takes the stage, radiant in designer black. Welcome, distinguished guests. Her smile could cut glass. 10 years ago, our family faced devastating loss. I let her talk, watching the teleprompter feed her lies. Let her paint herself as the grieving widow who rebuilt from nothing. Let her praise Grayson's business genius. Then she says it, my cue. And now, it gives me great pleasure to present our Legacy Award. Please enjoy this tribute to my beloved son. I press enter. The screens flicker. Instead of Grayson's carefully curated highlight reel, banking documents appear. Wire transfers, property deeds, forged signatures. Mother's voice falters. There seems to be a technical... More documents flash across the screens. Offshore accounts, tax havens. The power of attorney form Grayson tricked her into signing. Stop this, immediately. Grayson storms towards the tech booth. I stand up, removing my glasses and wig. Hello, brother. He freezes. In the sudden silence, I can hear gasps of recognition from the older guests. Security! Mother shouts, but no one moves. I had replaced their usual team with my own hours ago. Ladies and gentlemen, I say into my microphone, I apologize for interrupting this touching family moment, but I thought you might want to see where your charitable donations really went. The screens show surveillance photos now. Mother's Singapore penthouse, Grayson's private jet, all paid for with stolen money. My money. You see, I continue, walking toward the stage. 10 years ago, my family didn't lose everything. They just lost me, and they thought that was enough. Grayson lunges for me, but security blocks him. Cameras flash, reporters scramble for their phones. But here's the thing about being lost. I pull out the trust documents. Sometimes you find exactly what you're looking for. Mother's face goes pale as she recognizes Dad's signature. The trap is sprung. The spotlight burns, and I'm not hiding anymore. "Turn those screens off," Grayson shouts, but his voice cracks. The evidence keeps scrolling. Bank statements, property records, forged documents, a decade of theft displayed in high definition. "What's wrong, brother?" I step closer to the stage. "Isn't this what you wanted? All eyes on the family legacy?" Mother grabs the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. This is clearly some sort of technical truth," I cut in. "Like the technical truth of how you faked bankruptcy after Dad died. Or how about the technical truth of those charitable donations that somehow ended up in Caribbean bank accounts?" Cameras flash, phones record, the audience murmurs. "You don't know what you're talking about," Grayson snarls. "Actually, I do." I nod to Alec, who starts distributing folders to key reporters. "Every transaction, every shell company, every lie." Malia. Mother's voice turns syrupy sweet. "Darling, you're confused. Let's discuss this privately." "Like we discussed my inheritance? Or, wait, we never did discuss that, did we?" I turn to the crowd. "Fun fact, my mother and brother told me we were bankrupt the day after my father died. They kicked me out with $500 and a pat on the head." Marley steps forward, looking between Grayson and me. "You said you were an only child." "He says a lot of things." I pull up another document. "Like telling your mother he'd invest her life savings in tech startups. How's that going, by the way?" Her face crumples. Grayson reaches for her, but she backs away. "You're ruining everything," Mother hisses. "No, that was your job, 10 years ago." I face her directly. "But here's something you didn't know. Dad left a clause in his will. If any family member knowingly deprived me of my inheritance," I pause for effect, "everything transfers to me, legally, immediately." The colour drains from her face. "That's impossible." "The board approved it this morning." I hold up my phone, showing the confirmation email. "I own everything now. The houses, the companies, the foundation, all of it." Grayson laughs, but it sounds hollow. "You think you can just walk in here and what? Tell the truth? Show everyone exactly who you are?" I click to the next slide. "Like how you forged Mother's signature on power of attorney documents? How you played her just like you played me?" Mother's head snaps toward Grayson. "What is she talking about? Don't listen to her. Show her," I command. The screens fill with signature comparisons, forensic analysis reports. "You didn't just steal from me, Mother. You let him steal from you too." She stumbles back, gripping the podium. For the first time in my life, I see real fear in her eyes. "Security!" Grayson shouts again. "Remove her!" "They don't work for you anymore." I smile. No one does. Reporters surge forward, shouting questions. Guests pull out phones, streaming live. The carefully orchestrated gala dissolves into chaos. This isn't over, Grayson growls, pushing past me toward the exit. Actually, it is. Alex steps into his path, flanked by 2 federal agents. The SEC is very interested in those offshore accounts, Mr. Harding. Mother sinks into a chair, her perfect facade cracking. Malia, please, we can fix this. Fix what? My childhood? The years I spent thinking I wasn't good enough? I walk to the podium, taking the Legacy Award. You can't fix the past, but you can pay for it. The agents lead Grayson away in handcuffs, past shocked socialites and flashing cameras. Mother follows, begging them to wait, to understand. Marley catches my arm as I start to leave. I had no idea, she whispers, about any of it. I know. I squeeze her hand. Check your email tomorrow. I've arranged to return your mother's investment. The ballroom empties slowly, stunned guests filtering out into the night. I stand alone on the stage, surrounded by evidence of a decade's worth of lies. Abigail appears beside me. You okay? I look around the mansion, my mansion now, and feel nothing but cold satisfaction. I'm perfect, I say, and mean it. Let's get a drink. The night's not over yet. The morning after the gala, my face is everywhere. Every news channel, every social media feed, every gossip site carries the story. Heiress returns from exile to expose family fraud. Your phone's blowing up, Abigail says, sliding a coffee across my desk. We're holed up in her office, watching the fallout unfold. 17 interview requests. I scroll through emails. 3 book deals and a message from Mother's lawyer. What does it say? She wants to meet, claims she can explain everything. Don't, Alec walks in, looking exhausted but satisfied. The SEC just finished their preliminary investigation. It's worse than we thought. He drops a thick folder on the desk. I flip through pages of financial records, each one more damning than the last. Grayson didn't just steal from the family, Alec explains. He was running a full Ponzi scheme through the foundation. Dozens of victims. Including Marlesh's family? They were just the latest. He'd target wealthy families, promise huge returns, then use the foundation to launder their investments straight into his pocket. My phone buzzes. Javier. Your father would be proud, he says when I answer. He always said you were the smart one. Did he know, I have to ask, about what they were planning? He suspected. That's why he left you that clause. He knew they'd show their true colours eventually. A knock at the door interrupts us. It's one of Alec's junior partners, looking nervous. Ms. Malia, there's someone here to see you. Says she's your mother's housekeeper? Rosa steps in, the woman who helped raise me. She's crying. I had to come, she says, clutching her purse. Had to tell you. Your mother, she's not well. After you left last night, she had some kind of breakdown. Started burning papers in your father's study. Let her burn them, Alex says. We have copies of everything. No, you don't understand. Rosa pulls out her phone, shows us a video. Mother frantically feeding documents into the fireplace, muttering to herself. I know what he did, she repeats in the video. I knew all along. God forgive me, I knew. My stomach turns. She's admitting she was part of it? Keep watching, Rosa whispers. The video continues. Mother pulls out a letter, holds it close. I should have chosen you, Malia. Should have fought him. But I was so afraid. Afraid of what? I wonder aloud. Of me. Grayson's voice comes from the doorway. He's in handcuffs, flanked by federal agents. Alec arranged for him to be questioned here. You're not supposed to be talking, an agent warns. What difference does it make now? Grayson laughs bitterly. Game's over, isn't it, little sister? You won. Got everything you wanted. I wanted the truth. Truth? He leans forward, eyes wild. Here's your truth. I didn't just threaten to cut Mother off. I threatened to destroy her, had evidence of her own frauds from years ago, before Dad even met her. She chose survival. And me? What was I? Collateral damage, the perfect distraction while I consolidated power. He smirks. You should thank me. Look how strong you got all on your own. The agents pull him away, but his laughter echoes down the hall. I sit heavily in Abigail's chair. All this time, I thought. You thought it was simple, Alec finishes. Good versus evil. Turns out everyone's got demons. My phone buzzes again. Another news alert. Mother's been admitted to a private psychiatric facility. The video of her breakdown has leaked. What now? Abigail asks softly. I look around at the evidence of our victory, the files, the headlines, the confirmation of my restored wealth. It feels hollow somehow. Now, I say, standing up, I'm going to do what they never could, which is run the foundation properly, help people instead of stealing from them. I gather my things, starting with everyone they hurt. Where are you going? Rosa calls as I head for the door. To Dad's study. There's something I need to see. The truth might be messier than I imagined, but at least it's real, and real is something I can work with. Dad's study smells exactly the same. Leather, old books, and his favourite cigars. I run my fingers along his desk, remembering how he used to let me sit here and help with paperwork. I thought I'd find you here. Javier appears in the doorway. Your father spent his last day in this room. Did he know what was coming? He knew something was wrong. Javier sits in the visitor's chair. That morning, he told me, the real value isn't in the money. It's in who you become when no one's watching. A knock interrupts us. It's Marley, holding a stack of papers. Sorry to barge in, she says, but I found these in Grayson's office. They're letters from you to your mother. My heart stops. The letters I wrote during those first terrible years, begging for explanations, for help, for any sign that I still had a family. They're all unopened. Grayson intercepted them, Marley explains. He kept them as insurance against your mother, proof of how long they'd ignored you. Did you read them? She shakes her head. They're yours. I thought you should have them back. After she leaves, I stare at the letters. Part of me wants to burn them, erase that desperate girl forever. Don't. Javier seems to read my mind. Those letters are proof you never gave up your humanity. Unlike them. My phone rings. Alec. Grayson's talking, he says without preamble. Full confession. Seems he's hoping for a lighter sentence. And Mother? The doctors say she's stabilising. She's asking to see you. No. The word comes automatically. Some bridges stay burned. I hang up as Abigail bursts in, waving a tablet. You need to see this. It's security footage from the gala, but not the main event. It's from earlier, showing Mother alone in the ballroom. She's touching the old family photos, crying. Keep watching, Abigail says. On screen, Mother pulls something from her purse, a worn photograph. Even grainy, I recognise it. Me at my high school graduation, beaming at the camera while Dad hugs me. She kept it, I whisper. All this time. People are complicated, Javier says gently. Doesn't excuse what she did, but nothing. I stand up, suddenly certain. She made her choices. Now I make mine. I walk to Dad's old safe, spin the combination I memorised as a child. Inside is everything that matters. His real will, family photos, and a letter addressed to me. I never opened it, Javier admits. He said you'd know when the time was right. The paper trembles in my hands. My dearest Malia, if you're reading this, they did exactly what I feared. But you survived. You fought. And knowing you, you won. The money isn't your legacy. Your strength is. Use it wisely. All my love, Dad. I fold the letter carefully, tuck it into my jacket. Call the foundation board, I tell Abigail. I want to start a new program. Something for kids who've lost everything. What about the mansion? She asks. Your mother's doctors say she can't live alone anymore. Sell it. Use the money to fund the program. I look around the study one last time. Some ghosts don't need feeding. Javier stands smiling. Come on, I'll buy you a drink. Later, sitting at our usual bar with Abigail and Alec, I raise my glass. To Karma, in a cocktail dress, Abigail toasts. To justice, Alec adds. No, I think of Dad's letter, of all the years spent fighting, to becoming who we are when no one's watching. My phone buzzes, another interview request. I decline it. Not interested in fame? Alec asks. I'm interested in work. I pull out my laptop, start drafting the new foundation program. Real work, the kind that changes things. Outside, reporters still camp on the mansion's lawn, hungry for more drama. Let them wait. The real story isn't in the scandal or the money. It's in what happens next, and I'm just getting started.